started. This is Sergeant Valerius Korda. So first off, we need to get that arm on here. I've got this guy, he needs to go on there so that he can be charging. So first thing first, I'm going to snip this down shorter. So as you can see, it's a little bit too long. So I think that seems about right. Alright, boom, that's snipped. Fear is the mind killer, don't be afraid to snip this stuff. Now I'm going to try to think about the angle at which this needs to go. He's charging this direction, so his arm should be like that. Like either he just punched somebody or he's about to. He's kind of throwing himself in that direction. So I need to go up at a pretty tight angle up that way. And then double check. It's about centered. So I'm going to start out just a little bit low. About there. And just get a hole started. Nothing too deep. I just need something to bite into for when I want to go up. So that's a good starting point. Not even an 1/8 inch deep. So now we got to rethink. Okay. We want him to be shoulder pad up, arm out. We don't want him to be like that. We want it to be like punching. And that looks about right. So I'm going to turn it like this. I want it to go up. I don't have a lot of these power fists, so you kind of have to get this right the first time. Angle. So there we go. Kind of attacking it that way. Up and in. Firm pressure, but not too crazy, because I don't want this thing to pop through and get in my finger. Alright, it's getting there. Bit by bit. Getting there, getting close. So I'm probably getting closer to the exit point. Don't want to go into my finger. Oh, see? Popped through. Luckily I had my finger here instead of right behind the drill. And it's okay that it went through, because we're going to be covering that up with a shoulder pad. And we will put the plastic glue there, and it'll kind of all become a big emulsion. So, boom, that's pretty good. It's like you just clocked somebody on the head. I just need it to be in more, so I think I need to take the bottom down. That right there needs to come down just a little bit. So I think I can just press the side of the drill like that. Just gently turn it. You don't want to take more up here. Just gently press the side of the drill into there. Problem is, as you start turning the drill, it wants to like creep up the hole. There, that's better, but I need to check the back side. That's actually pretty good, but it needs to come down a little bit. Just turn the drill and rub it along that side. It makes pretty quick work of it, so cut once, measure twice. Cut and measure, cut and measure, cut and measure, back and forth. Perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. That's a good position. Alright. Now, we've got all these little bits of plastic. And if you need to, you can melt those with plastic glue and put them in any gaps. But I've also got green stuff, so I'm probably going to fill in with some green stuff. I've got a bunch of sprues and stuff too. I really should just make some slurry and buy an extra thing of plastic glue. Put it in a pot basically have my own plastic version of, oh, what do you call it? Green stuff. Except it would be plastic, gray stuff. Alright, here we go. We've got our dude. Cleaned up the arm a bit. I don't think there's any other cleanup that needs to happen over there, so I'm going to put some glue on. We're going to generously coat. No, not too generously. I don't want to go overboard, but just a nice layer around the whole thing. You can see there's a good dab there. I'll put the cap back on my glue so it doesn't dry out. And if we let this set for a little bit, it'll get tacky in about 10 to 15 seconds. And that helps the thing melt the glue so that you can stick the pieces on. So that's probably good. Don't need to wait too long. And you can feel it. It feels slimy and soft. You know what? I'm going to put the shoulder pad on while I'm at it. Nice. Pretty good fit all the way around. Alright. We got our imp fist. Now we got to do the other side. Got to be careful of the wire. Okay, super close. And this gray plastic that Games Workshop uses is pretty nice. I mean, it's with nice sharp cutters, it goes through very smoothly. I'm pretty happy with their models. That's actually pretty good. Tuck it in just a little bit so that's resting on the arm. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop here. Because that fist is resting right on the arm. And if I go any farther, it's going to start getting bent up. Just a little bit of a gap. But once it's painted, not a big deal at all. I mean, the only thing I can really do is chop in more right here. That might be pretty good. Yeah, that's good. That's probably perfect. So let's not go any farther. Don't want to press our luck. Alright, make with the glue. No little sprue bits we need to cut off, mold lines. Alright. Boop. I love how quickly this plastic glue acts. Like, you got a little bit of time, but tuck it, rotate it in. That's good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right. Then I'll clean up that little sprue mark on the shoulder once it's dried and hardened up. So that's a pretty badass pose. I mean, look at that. That, oh. He's going Hulk smash. Alright. Now we need to do backpack. The targeter goes in the middle. This guy's just a sergeant, so he's not going to get anything too crazy up there. I'm not gluing the backpacks on until the end because I kind of want to paint the wires and stuff before I stick it to their backs. So here we go. might be a little too much. Got a toothpick. Spread it around. Yeah, that looks good. Lift them up. Careful not to touch the arm. Now we want to make sure to get the angle right. You can just rest it on there and then kind of look around and see, okay, does that look right? I think maybe it could go forward just a little bit. A little bit more. We don't want it looking up. It's not fighting air units. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. From the side. Yeah, that looks sweet. The back. Nice. That side. Alright, so that's that down. Okay, I'm not going to glue the head. I'm going to paint those last on sticks. But I do need to figure out where to put this little marksman bit. Okay, so where on this dude would it make sense? On his chest? Does he have room on his back? No. I may just cut the bullet off the pouch. That might be the way to go, because then I can hook the bullet onto this shoulder pad. Maybe back here. Have it resting on his elbow. That's what I'll do. Alright, I'm going to use my razor knife to cut the bullet off. So this is what it looked like. Now I'm going to cut it. I only have so many of these until I model it. There we go. Got it. Whew. Alright, need to do just a tiny little bit of cleanup to this guy. Alright, I'm going to use the knife to kind of smooth it. That's probably too much glue. Grab my toothpick, rest it on the elbow and the shoulder pad. Of course, I gotta be shaking so damn much. There. Whew. Okay. You know what? While I still can, I am gonna just take this off. And I'll put a little notch right there. A little spot for the thing to rest into. A little dab of glue right there. Make sure I actually get it in the notch I just made. Okay, feeling a bit more confident about that. I am going to have to do some cleanup on that though, because it's got a good amount of texture from my fingers. That's alright. I'll just give it a weathered look, because this is a really old bullet from a critical headshot he got on a commander of an enemy Xenos unit. Yeah, that's good. That's not going anywhere once it cures. Nice. So now he's got his marksman status. And that's pretty much it. Now I just need to use super glue on the purity seals, but I don't know where I want the purity seals to go. I think it might look best if they're up high and they're floating away from where he's punching. Yeah, that might work best right there. So if he's like this, and they're like that, yeah, be like they're blowing in the wind as he's diving and punching. And then I'll still have room to get into that vent. So that's what I'll do. Alright, super glue time. So this build isn't like nerve-wracking at all. I mean, doing it for a video, so if I screw up, it's all recorded for history. And this is like the most important guy of the team. Alright, there we go. Glue there. And glue there. Don't need to go overboard. A little goes a long way. And this stuff dries really fast, so you gotta work it and get it right. Okay, it's on there. Damn, that actually worked out. It's like he's in the wind. Pretty flush. Yeah, I like it. Gives a little bit of flair. It's not quite a cape. He's just a sergeant. But it's like the tech priest was like, hey man, here's this for luck. Alright, and then do we want to add another one? He's got one down here on his arm, on his leg. I mean, I could put one like on his arm, floating back like that, which might be the way to go. I mean, it would add an extra layer of cool to this arm. Or I could put it on the gun, like that. Yeah, because he's a marksman. They're blessing it, blessing his gun. So that's what we'll do. All right, just a little dab. And there we go. Still going. Yeah. That looks pretty cool. Okay. So he's all customed up. It's gonna be one badass sergeant. And it's recruit edition. Not quite recruit edition though. He's got a lot of upgrades. Whew. Alright. Another successful build. So, that's Valerius Korda. You're going to see more of him in the future as I do painting. And talk about tools and other stuff later. But I think the next video, man, is going to be moving into paint and talking about things that I've learned from other YouTubers. So there'll be a lot of shout outs. So if you have any questions or you enjoy this content or there's other things you want to see, I have a gigantic drawer of, I don't like to think of it as a drawer of shame. People call it, it's like a pile of shame when they've got a bunch of models waiting to be built. But I look at it as something to look forward to, man. I've got a massive army to build. And I want them all to be as badass as that, but fit the codex rules for 40K play. So what I do is I switch over to the app, this guy, the 40K app, and I go down to Battleforge, and then I throw together lists. So my test list that I just get the numbers from is right here. And as you can see, I've got auxiliary support, I've got various units that I'm thinking about. Got my Kill Team Cassius. There's the Assault Intercessor Squad. So then I go in here. I go, okay, what kind of loadout can these guys have? Alright. These guys have no options. Yay! So Assault Intercessor, Astartes Chainsword, Heavy Bolt Pistol. That pretty much limits you to that. Then we go over here. We've got the Assault Intercessor Sergeant. So I did a Power Fist. I was looking at the Plasma Pistol. Not going to do it. Heavy Bolt Pistol. So he's only 29. He's 10 more than the regular Assault Intercessors. And then the Power Fist, you can either do Power Fist, Thunderhammer, Power Sword, or Chainsword. And I really like that the Power Fist stats are pretty boss. Like, look at that. ×2, -3 AP, 2 damage. That's pretty sweet. So, yeah. I mean, it just feels better to me than a Thunderhammer, and the cost, the points cost does not make sense for an assault intercessor squad. I would not do a 20 point for assault intercessors. I'll save that for somebody bigger, like Terminators or one of my kill teams. So that's where I'm at. So yeah, next up I'll be doing paint. You always want to paint your dude first before you do the basing, because you want to get down to those feet. And I'll probably also take him off of this base to paint him. Put him in a little vice grip or something to hold him. But first I need to prime, so I'll be using an airbrush to prime all these guys. I may or may not do a highlight with white from above and black from below. Not sure. I'm also kind of thinking about, do I want to do slightly blued armor, or do I want to just do flat out monochrome black, but just slightly grayer than black. So I mean, I want details to show up. I don't want to just be pitch black. So I'm going to look at my codexes. I've got the Deathwatch Codex and the supplement to kind of pour through and look at colors and designs and things and see what really pops to me. Yeah. And as a teaser for a much later video, I'll show you this guy. Who do you think he's with? Got the Death Watch on the side. Look at that shoulder. That's a Black Templar biker dude. He's using the OG Firstborn helmet from the Black Templars upgrade kit, which has a lot of ungodly number of bits, but I'm also using the chainsword from the Templars. Flip it over this side, you can see the little cross on his fist. So I'm doing lots of units, but those biker guys were just a test. I got bored one day and decided I wanted to build bikes. So that's it. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to jump into paint.